welcome back to the 5-part mini-series titled Awakening the God Within. I hope you have enjoyed this series thus far. We are at the final episode titled Submitting to Glory. Now, this is the amazing part of the entire ordeal, but it is so tricky because you do not want to do all of that work to psych yourself out at the end. And so submitting to glory is to know and understand that there is glory that God desires to bring forth in this earth. And to do so, he will need vessels. And we are such vessels. Therefore, we must not psych ourselves out to believe that it cannot be us. Why not? We are a vile human vessel that can be used for the glory of God. And when this is what you have desired with your whole heart, believe it will be you that has been selected to do so. So to be able to submit to the glory is to be able to trust God with everything. Trust the God that has purposed your entire life to bring forth something. Something great, something formidable, something that will be spoken about for generations to come. He has ordained that for all those who will heed to his calling. And so it becomes of utmost importance that you submit to his voice with everything. And that you do not submit to the voice of the world that you hopefully have shunned already. So it becomes utmost importance that when it comes to these points, that we don't reawaken those limitations that have been placed upon us. We don't reawaken the limits of the world. We don't reawaken any of those things. Because the world may say what goes up comes down, but God says, I have say in all of that, and I can change that in an instant. So the only truth that we submit to is the truth of the authority of God that can do anything as he wills. Because he creates from just words, and he has the power and authority to change anything, to flip anything on its head. And he has given that same power and authority to man who will shun the world and take up this task of walking after the will of God, right? Because the submission would mean that you have given up your own will when you forsook the world, and you have taken on the will of God, and you will follow him wherever it is he wills to take you, because you understand what he has purpose for you is far greater than whatever the world tried to purpose for you. And so submission comes with trusting God to the very end, trusting him to take you into the unknown, trusting him when you do not make sense to the world, because you won't. The world has what makes sense to them, and God has his own. So do not fear when you are misunderstood, and do not submit yourself to the words of those who have yet to free themselves from their limits. Know that you were sent for them. You were sent to be that demonstration. You were sent to be that example. And so you hold on to it with everything, and you submit to God. And that is when you will see his glory. So throughout the process, you would have held on to this voice, and you hold on to it with your everything, because you know God would never shame anyone who is after his own heart, who is after showing his glory to this earth, to know that there is still a God that is above everything we see. And again, do not count yourself out from being part of those who are called to show God's glory. And this concludes the 5-part mini-series. Stay tuned for what will be next.